Hello Internet, Magic Man here from MMOBomb.com, bringing you another first look video. This time it's for the isometric dungeon crawler type game from KOG Games, HeroWarz. Now KOG Games is the publisher, Storm is the developer, and it is currently in closed beta testing here in the West. It's already been released in other areas. Europe, you may struggle a little bit with some IP blocks on this one for now, and whether or not it picks up a publisher in Europe has yet to be seen. But it follows in the same vein as some Sword dungeon fighter type games where you don't select or create a character, you select one from a pre-made group. So we're going to select B and jump right in. Now I'm skipping over the tutorial portion. I will talk about some of the things in here as we spend about 15-20 minutes taking a look at the game here. I will talk about some things like your skill trees and things like that, but I'm skipping over the tutorial. It's very easy. You can knock it out in about 15 minutes, and it's going to give you basic controls. Now, on the graphics front, yes, they do support very, very high resolutions, so let's knock this up to 2160, but you'll notice there's not a lot of other graphics effects in here, and whether that's just the game itself or because it's beta, we'll have yet to see. So you'll notice if we bump the resolution up, there is no UI scaling, so yeah, I'm probably going to leave this one at 1920, 1080, just so everybody can see the UI and the tooltips as we go. So let's reset this. Graphics, anything in gameplay? No. So no UI scaling or anything. Specs we haven't maxed out, but we'll knock the resolution back down to 1080 just to keep the UI in a visible frame on the screen here. Now, the game itself, again, follows in that whole Sword dungeon fighter vein, so it's instance-based, isometric view. While it is a 3D environment, it's one of those kind of 2.5D isometric dungeon crawlers. And you have your central hub here, our headquarters, where you see lots of people walking around in closed beta now, some with extremely high levels. And I'm playing character B, who is a melee character, so we're gonna go into today's mission. Can't do that yet, so we're gonna just do our basic story mission. Notice that player training, Pantheon, Liberation, ATV, all kinds of different modes in the game are restricted by level or your completion of the story, so we have to complete a lot of things or level up to open up some other modes and things like that. Now, so we're not going to see PvP or anything like that in the first look, since you have to progress in the story or the leveling to get there. But let's go ahead and do our current story mission. As we jump into this, we're kind of in a waiting room for the level here. Now, there's already somebody else preparing for this particular mission too, so we've kind of been thrown in with them. And as soon as all of us hit battle start, then we'll be able to actually take on the mission. So I'll ready up. Wait for iFoxy to ready up. If more players joined into this mission, then the difficulty and the rewards would increase as well. You'll notice on the right that I have Orange Blade 0 out of 3. That's the latest skill that I've learned here, mapped to 1. And so I need to use that 3 times just to go ahead and master the actual skill. Off the beginning of the game, there's very little skill progression or customization. You'll notice as we level, and even if you look at my hotbars at the bottom of the screen now, that it's very linear as far as the progression goes for a while. And while you will be able to spend skill points in certain skills later, as you're learning all of the skills, you really don't have an option. The game wants you to learn this skill, wants you to learn this passive, wants you to learn this thing, and just keep going. Now, your controls come in 2 basic varieties. In the lower right-hand corner, you'll see I'm playing in keyboard mode. That means I'm using WASD to move around, and then my hotbars show you what is mapped to left mouse, right mouse, scroll wheel up, scroll wheel down, R, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space bar, etc. I also have potions mapped to Z. I have a potion mapped to X already, but I don't have any of those potions, so... and the gameplay itself, very smooth, very quick, very fast gameplay. The combat feels fluid, the animations, some of the skills look really nice. So it does have a nice feel to the game overall, especially for being in closed beta. Get out of the red. Now, some of these abilities may be iFoxy's. I'm not familiar with that particular character's abilities. Just mousing over the coins picks them up, but you do have to click on items to pick them up. Hi, Foxy and I are pretty much rolling right through this. A little mini-boss. Notice the mini-map in the upper right-hand corner shows me this particular layout, this particular level. And again, it is instance-based, so I'll do this level, go back to headquarters, or I could just jump straight to the next level. And we've got the typical boss with lots of life health bar that has multiple colors. Right now at 44%, so not doing too badly. Taking them out pretty quickly. In the bottom center of the screen, you see my HP, 401 out of 770. I can use a health potion, map the Z, to replenish some of that. And I have my mana bar, which is that 8-segmented blue bar there. So some abilities cost mana, some abilities gain mana, or energy, whatever you want to call it, so that you can actually trigger your abilities. I love that little dash ability. Now, B, this specific character, again, is melee-based, so lots of, like you just saw my charge ability there, lots of charging into the fray, doing some damage, pulling people out of the fray, and dragging them across the map. Let's get the hell out of the red. And again, I did not get out of the red there, so Z. Use a little health potion. And we've got our lovely kill combo meters. At the end of the level, we'll see a damage, you know, who did the most damage, I, Foxy, or myself. So that'll be interesting, seeing two different types of characters. Upper left-hand corner shows my party. We are both level 9 and just shows our health. Now, some of the environments in the game are destructible as well, and in a few levels, or a few missions later down the road, you'll see that we're able to destroy some pieces of the environment, stacks of boxes, things like that. Most of these little cutscenes that you're seeing are voiced. They still got the original voiceover, so keep the subtitles on. And here's something about the story. If you're into like anime and that type of thing, the story is actually pretty interesting with this whole character and fragments that you're trying to find, and the end of the world and underwater and all this stuff. It's a very interesting story. It's not set up nicely, though. At the beginning, you may feel a bit overwhelmed by the story and not know what the hell is going on. As you progress, level 9, 10, 11, you start getting into it more and you start seeing some characters over and over again. It does start to come into line, but you have to pay attention. If you're into the story, you need to read it. And I'm going to skip some of this story quickly just for first look time running sake. But if you're into story, you're definitely going to want to read it, and you may feel a little lost at the beginning. Don't worry. It starts to come together. There is a day-night cycle that you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, the very, very far right-hand corner of the screen. So right now we're at night. And mission success. Wow, I really outdamaged Foxy. So we'll pick 2 random rewards. We'll complete the mission. And complete here. Bing. Acquired level 10, or achieved level 10. So I've got a new mission. Oh, wow, what's this? So reward for my next mission, I get a Stormfish Market Cart. So I'm going to get a mount there. That's pretty cool. We're going to jump back to headquarters and take a look at some menus and some equipment and things like that. You will notice that because of the style of game, similar again to Dungeon Fighter, L-Sword, that type of thing, that there's a potential... Look at all the bees in the screen right there. And we all kind of look the same. There is a costume tab, while we skip through a little bit of story here. There is a costume tab that you can equip your own looks. Now, obviously, a lot of those costume pieces lend themselves to Cash Shop right off the bat. Let's go look at skills first. See, I have to learn the R skill. I'm not allowed to spend points anywhere else yet. And you can see the level requirements for some of my other skills. So we'll learn R. That's my... Go into my items. Alright, I don't need to use the HP increase potion yet. So let's go to equipment. We'll identify these guys. And then we'll start looking at some stats and see. So depth is more powerful. This increases cooldown. Lots of green on that one. So it's doing its own comparison, and you can see the box on the far right shows you the breakdown of your pluses and minuses if you equip those specific pieces of gear. Sidekick comes a little bit later in the game. I believe it's about 21 that you need to clear a quest to get sidekicks. But then you have your own little survivable party. Skills we've already kind of talked about. So we're not going to see sidekicks in the first look, because I only get that first squad member at F1 at level 20. Here's the costume tab. Now, what I was saying about that is obviously most of that will go into the cash shop. However, I have seen costume pieces as rewards for ends of missions when you pick your cards, but I haven't won any yet. I haven't happened to grab them. And if you're a completionist, then your report will give you plenty to complete, and make sure you're picking up all your little... Oh, there's the fish cart mount. Did I get that as a reward for the last quest, or is it... Or is that going to be a reward for the next one? Now I can camp, so I can regain... I can pitch a tent here. Boom. Not much of a benefit since I'm full on everything, but... I don't think I have... Go to items... Yeah, it doesn't look like I have the mount yet. Alright, so that must be the reward for my next mission, not the current mission. I misread the screen there, but that's alright. My stats over on the left. Let's go ahead and get rid of the tent here. We're just level 10 chilling in a tent in the headquarters. Somebody in chat now asking how to get a sidekick. Get to level 20. Get to level 20. Let's introduce you to the headquarters. So Team Locker, this is your guild bank, or your, I'm sorry, your personal bank. We do not have enough money to unlock tabs, but we have that first tab available. Let's head off over to the right. There's another tent. And lady playing the piano with a huge chest, for God's sakes. Equipment upgrade, which I can't do yet. Oh, here's clan management. If you want to start a guild, you got to be level 1 or higher, a team that's not in a clan, and you got to have 50,000 cash, which I don't have, so we'll skip that. But if you want to create guilds, clans, you can do so. Lots of areas cordoned off by invisible walls. I could go without that, but, you know, it is what it is. Shop for some epic weapons. I am not level 70 yet, so we won't be doing anything here. And here's epic equipment. Let's go ahead and sell some stuff. Or should I sell this stuff? Maybe I shouldn't sell this stuff. Hold on, let's go into my inventory. Can I deconstruct this, or... Oh, yeah, at the bottom here, dismantle. I think, yeah, let's dismantle... Oh, perfect. So we can create some materials. So let's go and see what materials these create. I would imagine that these are going to play into your upgrades later. But let's see what those are. Maya's necklace fragment. Maya's the lady you're looking for. An item required when using sidekick skills or for purchasing equipment. Alright, so definitely something you want to do. Dismantle equipment when you can if you don't need the money. I think I left some of that stuff in a buyback tab though, so we'll hit another vendor. Here's the ATV shop. None here. Alright, yeah, I did leave some of this in here. So let's take this stuff out so we can dismantle it. We'll buy it back. Yep. Buy back. Sell those since I can't dismantle those. And now we can dismantle these things. Wonder if can I dismantle all of them? Nope, 2 of them aren't. I'm not going to be able to. But a few more fragments for when I get to the sidekick. Skills and buying equipment. And these will sell. Alright. 3,884 gold. Not rich by any means. Visually, I like the art style. I like the 2.5D isometric. And it runs smooth. I mean, the game runs really smoothly. For a closed beta test. Now, this round of beta tests... Okay, so that is a reward for the next mission. All right, let's go ahead and do it. The closed beta test is actually running really well. There have been a couple of instances where KOG Games has had to shut it down for emergency maintenance, but they're pretty good about announcing it. In fact, it happens to me while I'm recording this. Now, we could hang tight and wait here for a player or two, but I'm just going to keep going. We'll do a single player. Earth Smash is the next skill I just got after we leveled up. So, of course, they want me to use it 3 times. Skippy, skip, skip. Skippy, skip, skip. Alright, so let's go ahead and use it once. Oh, that's pretty cool. And now the cooldown looks to be about 15, 16 seconds. Oh, look at... Oh, they love me. The hearts. Look at all those hearts. I gotta say, I really liked B in this game, in HeroWarz. Oh, there we go. Somebody's sniping me. Typically I pick casters, but I really liked the melee combat here with B. I felt pretty powerful and pretty badass, particularly when I get lots and lots of enemies around, and I can really rack up that kill combo. More beginner's dual swords. Alright, so now here's an instance where we have to tear down some of the environment. Oh, I'm about to get sniped. I was in the middle of an ability and couldn't move. Some abilities you can trigger while you're moving. Other abilities, yeah, you do have to stand still. Some of the other characters whoop, use a potion. Oh. I still got 5 seconds on the potion. Some of the other characters have jump-type abilities and things like that are position-dependent. So each character does feel very different in the way it plays, both through skills and even in movement cases, too. My character, for instance, cannot jump, at least not yet. I haven't come across an ability that is like a jump or a dive. I do have juggle abilities, and that's another thing. Just because you have one ability mapped to, let's say, left mouse button, and that's your swing wildly and just, you know, dice up everything in front of you. The position of the enemy also matters. If I've knocked the enemy down and I continue to hold down left mouse, it will do a slightly different ability on an enemy that is prone or laying down. If I knock them up into the air, then left mouse will also trigger a different ability there. So some abilities are position dependent. Lots of snipers around here. Are position dependent on your position in relationship to your enemy, but also your enemy's actual position. Are they laying down? Are they being juggled into the air? So there's lots of chances for holding down the left mouse button and having it do like 3 or 4 different things in a given situation. I'm having to pop a lot of potions here. It's a good thing they give me infinite. Of course, most levels have a boss fight too, so some type of, you know, big baddie that's going to drop some loot for you. And we'll see another one here as we finish up this in the Champs-Élysées. Oh, God, gotta get through the boxes. Strong-ass boxes, man. Stronger than the guy behind them. Shit. I love that dash ability. If you charge, if you could do that that particular ability again, as far as variance of abilities goes, just right-clicking will do that little dash attack. Holding down the right mouse button will charge it up, I'll glow, and then dash forward, and the shockwaves behind me will do extra damage, even though I've already segued into another ability. So lots of ways for you to creatively combo abilities. See how all that shockwave that keeps doing damage. Lots of abilities for you to creatively string together. Now I'm fighting off onto the right here, but those enemies on the left were still taking damage. So if you know your situation, you know your character's abilities, you can create some pretty neat combinations. Looks like we're at the end of this level here. Lots of little mannequins here. Fashion mannequins. No cash shop to show you as of yet. Again, this is only in closed beta in the West. In areas of the East, you've already played this for a while now, and sorry, Europe. I mean, unless Gameforge picks it up, maybe? I don't know. You may not see this one. The closed beta test, I can tell you for a fact, because we gave away keys on MMOBomb, was restricted to North America and Australia and New Zealand. So there was no European access on the beta keys we were giving away. Yeah, that seems like an outfit you would come to a fight in. And she is pretty hot, but... Okay, no, not anymore. Not anymore. And you know, that's what happens. That's what happens sometimes. She is real... Whoa, no, she's not. Alright, so we got our boss, our first big boss battle here. The last one was humanoid, so it's nice to see something different. One of the things, again, if you play Elsword, if you play Dungeon Fighter Online, that may potentially be a drawback here. It is very repetitive. You know, it's a dungeon crawler, so it's a repetitive type game. But that's alright. If you're into dungeon crawling, like I am, you don't care about the... Oh, get out of there. You don't care about that aspect. You know it's going to be a rinse and repeat, grinding, get the gear type deal. However, just like those types of games lend themselves to, once you've fought a boss once or twice and you learn the mechanics, it's pretty easy to go ahead and just face roll that boss the next time. It's not really a challenge. Now, there are multiple difficulty levels, and again, even partying up with multiple people will increase the difficulty levels. So that's not to say that the game cannot be challenging. It can. But it's not early. It still isn't. I'm level 10, but you see these people during closed beta that's only a week long hitting level 100 some. So it's not challenging to begin with. It really gives you time to go ahead and learn all of your abilities and throw a couple of mechanics at you along the way. Alright, we got about 14% left here. Take him out. And that should do it. 3%. Charge. There we go. Dead. Dead. Well, you're hot, but you're dead. Oh, now you're back to being hot. Love the voiceovers. Love them. She's got a little drink in her hand, too. She held on to that the entire time. She transformed into Spider Crab and got her ass kicked. Little cutscene, and again, there's a couple different types of cutscenes. Obviously, you're seeing the talking heads cutscenes, you're seeing some cinematic cutscenes. I don't want to spoil story, and you wouldn't understand it at this point anyway, so I'm skipping it. Let's pick some rewards. I just want to... We get a mount here. Come on. Oh, I missed the weapons. I missed some higher quality weapons there. Damn it. Alright, mission complete. There we go. We get our fish cart mount. That's the first mount that I have in the game. Also got level 11. New mission. Let's go to headquarters so we can take a look at the mount. Alright. 75. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I want to see the mount. I want to see the fish cart. Oh, first we got a skill. Again, forced learn. I don't have any options yet. You see the 0 out of 5 that I'll get skill points later, but not yet. Alright, official player. So I can right-click this. That'll give me a title. A mount. Let's right-click this. Alright, yep, so that's fine. We want to add it to our inventory. That's great. So there it is. Let's identify these, see if any of them are worth equipping. A little higher battle power on the new weapon, but... cooldown and mana speed or reductions. Alright, we'll equip it. It's early. Alright, let's go. Where's the mount? Okay, I thought it would put it on my hotbar automatically because it was part of my equipment. Apparently not. Yeah, it's not there. Alright, so let's go back. Let's go back into inventory. There it is. What are we after mounting? Summon. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I didn't mean to unequip it. Summon the stormfish up to 4 seconds. Movement speed. The Y key. Alright. Boom! Mount! Badass fish cart mount. Yeah! Got a little dude to pull me around. What an amazing mount. Oh, boy. And I've seen some crazy... Oh, here's one! Look at this. Zebra Safari Jeep. There's some nutty mounts in the game. So again, a lot of room for some pretty creative cash up items in the way of mounts, costumes, things like that. But that's HeroWarz, closed beta right now, just shut down. They'll get ready to do another phase. Let's put my title on. I'm official player now. by KOG Games. If you're into Elsword or you're into Dungeon Fighter Online or titles of that ilk, then HeroWarz may be one worth checking out for you. And if you like fish cart mounts, then hell, it's the only game I know of that you could have this type of mount here. Until next time, gang, this is Magic Man from MMOBomb.com saying stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.